Yeah, Rasika. An abyss.
An abyss. Oh,
Yeah.
Rasika, he just called you an abyss. That's a good word.
An abyss. That you can just...
You're an ocean and an abyss.
Yeah. You know?
And effortless.
And, no, not effortless.
Effortless was also. Let's talk about Lord Curzon Ki Haveli. That's your first film as a director. Can you tell me a little bit about it and why did you choose this film as your directorial debut?
Black comedy thrillers are my favorite genre, and Alfred Hitchcock is a filmmaker I've eaten him up. Luckily, I had VHS cassettes of his old films when I was a kid, so I ended up watching a lot of Hitchcock, and this film is pretty much, in essence, a homage to him, and it's about Asians in the UK. Why did I choose to make it? Because while we were writing it, I had started directing it, so the writer told me that now if you'll get somebody else to direct it, you'll end up ghost directing it, so you better make it yourself. So I think even in future, if I do a direct a movie, it'll be a actor driven, like this one. This is a pure actor driven film. I like films where actors are at the center. There's more craft there, and actors have a free flow, and luckily I had the best of the lot with the 5 of them.
Speaking of free flow, was there a time you felt that you were really involved in the character? And first, before I let you answer that question, how did you get involved in the project initially?
I think there's 2 very simple reasons. When I first read the script, when he first told me about it, when I first read it, I could not slot it in any one particular genre or space, and that intrigued me. Like, I couldn't quite put a finger on what is this film. Like, what's happening here? I don't know, but I want to be a part of it. You know, it was like that. Secondly, because of him, this rather charming individual charmed me completely, and I just, I was into Anshuman and his mind, I think. From what he just said, you can imagine why it was such a pleasure to be directed by a director like this. Someone who gave the actors that freedom and put their process really at the center of everything. Sorry, I've digressed a lot.
No, that's
what was
fine.
your...
I was talking about free flow, but you have free flow.
Yeah, so the free flowing into my... Exactly. Yeah.
So did you guys know each other before?
No, we met for this
We
film.
knew
We've been contemporaries to some, to a degree, and
seen each other's work.
absolutely. One of his first film was LSD. Yeah, it was one of my favorite films.
How did you get into this collaboration?
Oh wow, this is a story.
We would love to know.
This is quite a story.
Okay, tell me more.
So I was out axe throwing, and I get a call from one of my agents, and they were like, "Oh, we have this amazing film for you. Would you like to read it? The only caveat is they want you tomorrow in Yorkshire." I was in Norfolk.
Okay.
And I was like, "Oh, that's interesting. I'll read the script. Whatever." I read the script. I could not stop reading the script. So you have a tendency to read a script and then just flip through to your own parts.
Yeah.
I read the script. I devoured the script. It was so fun. And then I went back to my agent. I was like, yes, I definitely want to do this. 3 p.m., I get a call from him. I speak to him on the phone. It's broken. He's like, I'm on the top of a mountain. I can't really hear you, but this is it. It's breaking. I'm like, this is kind of weird. Like, am I going to be safe? And then I have a car waiting for me outside at 9 p.m. I'm on set at, 8 a.m. the next day?
Okay.
And I'm just in it.
There's a backstory to that, which is, and I guess this is how destiny plays. When I approached Arjun and Rasika, all my cards open, honest truth. I told them I will not make this film without you two, because I had written the film with the writer with them in my head. And you can ask them. I told them I will not make it. And I told them the film I'm narrating to you is exactly how it's going to pan out. And it's difficult for a first-time director to actors of such pedigree. Then I had this wonderful actor who I think is the best stage actor in my life I've ever seen. My process was that if I really think she's the best actor in India, then somebody needs to back her. And that's why I said, you do the other lead part with Arjun Rasika. Unfortunately, we were at the end of COVID and her visa got rejected. Out of 35 visas, 34 got stamped, 1 got rejected. And it still breaks my heart talking about it because she had workshopped the film with everyone for over a year and a half. So then the choice was to either come here and not make the film, pack up and go back, or just fire 4 arrows in all directions, which I did. I'd like to tell you a fun fact. There was a red dress, her opening shot in the film, and I knew exactly what red dress I wanted, and I had looked for it myself. The costume designer couldn't find it. I found it myself. I said, that's what I want, and I made her go and get it. The original actor kept doing costume trials, and I kept telling the costume stylist, not fitting right. Fix it. I want it to look like that. I had a reference. Correct. And she kept saying, no, Anshuman, it's not how it works. Women and their bodies are different. Yeah. You've picked a complicated dress. It'll fall a certain way. And I kept telling her, no, change it, fix it. And then Zoha comes on set, and the first thing she has to try is that that dress because I wanted to see. She gets into that dress, no alterations. It just drops the way I wanted it to. That's God of cinema.
You had a year and a half of workshops, but you didn't have that time.
No.
How was it diving deep straight from day one into the red dress and into your character?
Into the red dress. I was really nervous.
Yeah.
Obviously, knowing that Arjun was in it, Rasika's in it, incredible people. I know that he has a very specific vision. As soon as I stepped on, I had breakfast with him that morning, and he was there first. He made me so comfortable. He sat me down and he was like, I will guide you through this. Do not worry. And then in walks Arjun, being Arjun, like making me so comfortable. Be like, oh, this guy, okay, this is really cool. And then everyone's having breakfast together. I was able to, as you said, free flow.
There's a certain magic to instinct also. Like, of course, we went through a process and we all believe in it. And I'm a huge fan of that. We both have been trained by Barry. And Barry taught, at least, I don't know if he said this in your class, but he always said on your worst day, whether somebody's died in your family, whether you've broken up, whether there's a line you should not come under. And I think through the process, different actors reach that line in different ways. I just feel when an actor is prepared, say, has worked a little less, the instinct is kicking in more. So I think Zoha took about 3 days, if I may say this. And by the 4th day, because she's such a gifted actor, she had understood the character, she had got comfortable. We kind of flew from there. Like, I know the shot in the film from where she's like Sanya. Like, the penny just drops.
Did you feel that too, though?
Absolutely. When I saw it edited, I did feel it. Yeah, in person the whole time I was like, oh, am I doing it right? Am I doing it right? But then, even then, I knew exactly when I just got it. And it just fit.
Arjun, same question for you. When did you feel that you have slipped successfully into the character? Or is that your process, or you just take it by the day?
No, well, depends. It depends. Every project is different and every character requires something different. And yes, at times my process has even been that I don't even want to read the script. That has also happened. Here, this was different. See, a lot of this film is in its silences and a lot of it is in eye contact and subtext. There's only so much that's on the page, and a lot of it came out of actually those workshops that we did. I love it when a character takes me by surprise also, in spite of all the prep that you might do. And it wasn't until we started filming that I really started to have fun with it, because it was like the most subtle nuances of it I myself only understood while performing them. They were not something I understood in our workshops or upon reading. It was just while performing it that I started to kind of really feel the weight of
Of the character.
of everything. I missed that shoot thoroughly. We had so much fun. The way, it was amazing. And
I have a question about the process again, because I asked another actor yesterday the same thing, and it was very interesting. So workshops is one thing, but that is basically everyone sitting around a table and reading, is it? Or is it acting it out as well?
No, so like I have over now, it's been 22 years for me. I have kind of devised, acting is a lot of physiological and psychological play. I think the primary, and in India I can say that's the problem. Workshops are not just table reads. Okay. Table reads is the zero of workshops. Correct. You need to go to 100. And you need to know how to do it. And by God's grace, I've had teachers who've taught me how to break down a character and then manipulate an actor's psychology to get them there. Which is very integral, I feel, to getting the process going. You need to, because see, every character has a part of the actor in it, right? There's only so much you can do. There is a truth in you, which you bring on the table, and then the character comes a bit in you. It's a two-way street. So workshopping is a very extensive and an intensive process, which is a lot more than just table reads. And our process was very intense as well. Like, some real heart-to-heart happened, truths came out. And I used them on set. Like, I remember Arjun's servant he spoke of. You get to know which buttons to press in a good way. You know what I mean? And my wife actually kept telling me I would make notes for Arjun specifically. So she would say, how are you even keeping track of? So I had a workshop note and I was matching it every night after. So we would wrap at 6 a.m. I would come back, and then 6 to 7 I would make notes for the next day because I knew the scenes. Again, another thing in India which I feel is a bit of an indulgence sometimes, that there are too many people on set. Sometimes you don't need that many people. Less energy Focused energy is good energy.
So I understand the workshop process that you're talking about, but does the blocking and being in the setting and being, let's say, in that house, the smell of it, the touch of it, does that help enhance your performance?
Oh my gosh, absolutely.
Yeah?
Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely. I mean, for me specifically, because I hadn't been able to workshop
Yeah.
it, but being able to actually be in that house,
Yeah.
I felt it as a character, as an actor, and that just helped me perform even better. That's why locations are so important. And the location that he picked, oh my gosh, that house, just you walk in, you smell the carpets and the walls, and you are in the character. Yeah.
I would like to say
Yeah.
that I've been with Anshuman through the process when he considered putting up a set or shooting somewhere in,
Because of the pandemic, there were
you
no
know,
visas.
yeah,
right?
we were facing all kinds of troubles, and he considered everything from shooting on a set,
Darjeeling.
to shooting to a hill hill
Cheating.
station in India. I know how his heart was set on making this happen, because nothing can replace that feeling. You feel it subliminally in the sound that gets captured in the light that you see outside the window. It's just, and what it does to the actors also, mainly also.
And to the crew.
And to the crew, absolutely.
I also feel when you travel out of Bombay, making a set in Bombay and shooting in Bombay, you're still in yours. Mentally, you're not out of it. I feel when actors get out of Bombay and like this film is set in somewhere close to London or outside of London, when you're in a real location, the cast and the crew start feeling that world. Again, it's a very subconscious thing. It's not something that, and it's not me saying, it's science saying. About 98% human beings are mostly working on auto drive, right? Consciousness,
In your routine lives,
most of us are not really aware, and that's where the drive is, meditation or whatever everybody does to get in that. So I think getting out of Bombay helps you get into that or any real location for that matter, because on a set you can only
do
so much. You know, it's like a cricketer practicing a pitch at Perth or at Lords, the swing at Lords in a net session in India. But when you get out there, it's a different ball game, because you are there at Lords and the pitch has green grass and you were faking it in your nets in India. But no, it's not going to happen. Now suddenly the world is different. This is the first house I saw, and after this I had seen 23 more. But I knew that there was nothing matching it.
Since you've worked with the two of them, it's been a while and you guys have been touring as well. One thing you would like to say to describe each of theirs working style? One word. Take your time.
For each
guys.
of them?
Yeah.
Wow. Anshuman is very collaborative,
Okay.
but very expressive collaborative, in the sense that and like he said, he knows what buttons to press and tap it out of you. And I think that's a strength that he gets because he is an actor himself. And it's so refreshing to work with someone like that. So expressive, collaborative, fun. Arjun, oh my god.
Thinking as well.
This is unfair. They're getting extra time. They're not listening to me.
I'll come back to you for Arjun. You go now.
They're not listening to me. They're thinking of their answers.
You can
come back
think.
for Arjun.
So we should all do 1-1-1, right?
Okay, theek hai.
In Arjun's eye, there is so much depth. I'm a fan of him as an actor since the beginning. And no, I'll tell you something. There are very few actors in India I respect. And this man is one. I have respect for him and his craft, for what he stands for. I always say this. What he does, the way he does it, and the choices he makes are not easy. I like to call him a craftsman because that's who he is. He's an artist. Artist is the word I'd like to use. I was not thinking of an answer, see?
It was free flowing. So
While you were talking, I was like, don't steal my word, don't steal.
Oh, that was your word?
You just had to say one word though.
Oh, sorry. So, artist.
Okay, so Arjun,
Yeah.
Zoha. Yeah, if you wanted to go
I would
with
say open. Her being on this film and the way she came in, and then from there on to just put your faith in whatever this madman is thinking, and like these three, like the three actors with all our quirks and
4 now, no?
No, 5 are there.
I mean yeah. But so yeah, open is my word,
Nice.
which I thought about because I had extra time.
I was going to say effortless. That's my word.
Nice.
It's so, it just flows so smoothly. And for me, I was like, is this the character or is this him? I don't really know. He is just...
I don't know if that's a compliment or
No, but it's a compliment, nah? It is true. So whatever I've seen you in already, it's the same thing because it doesn't look like you're acting. And it's the exact same with Rasika. Rasika is I think you introduced her as a mountain of talent, the highest mountain in the world. Yeah. I think, honestly, when I'm watching this film, I'm watching her. And even when we were filming, I was just sitting there watching her. She's incredible. And also the way she just switches. She's chatting with you and then she's Ira and you're just like, what? And she has this...
I would have loved her to be here.
Same. We miss her.
I call her the female Shah Rukh Khan. I'll tell you why.
Okay.
When on the edit, I am a very conscious continuity actor. I like maintaining. I know what I'm doing, and I get upset when I change because I've been an AD, so it's ingrained. Arjun's also been an AD, and he also I noticed that about him on set. Rasika, she doesn't show it. She doesn't fuss about it. None of them manage continuity. There's a shot where she takes her jacket off, and we took 3 cuts. And on the edit, me and the editor were just looking and salivating that how is this woman doing it? Because no, it's the same word.
Wow.
The middle of the word is where the left, and I'm like, and because I'm an actor, I'm like, how, what? She's a gift. I call her a gift as an actor because that's the word for her. She's a gift. Zoha, I'll use 2 words. The first time I saw her, I saw a lot of grace and poise, and I have so much respect for that because it's kind of getting lost in what I see around me. If Zoha and me were in school together, we would be best friends.
Aww.
Because I think,
That's really nice. That's really sweet.
Yeah, because she's a very...
That's adorable.
Yeah.
She's a...
That's adorable. That is truly adorable.
She's a very simple, uncluttered sort of person, and that comes as an actor.
That's so nice.
I really respect that.
Anshuman, I would just say meticulous.
I see
Anshuman
that
is
now.
meticulous.
I see that now,
Yeah, Rasika, an abyss.
An abyss. Oh,
Yeah,
Rasika, he just called you an abyss. That's a good word.
an abyss that you can just.
You're an ocean and an abyss.
Yeah, you know.
And effortless.
And, no, not effortless was for him.
Effortless was open, acha.
Effortless was
Paresh.
Okay, sorry.
Paresh is my sweetheart.
Yeah, I was going to say sweetheart.
I'll just leave it at that.
Yeah.
And Tanmay, revolutionary.
Revolution.
Oh,
he's
Revolutionary.
goes well with the
Yeah.
theme of the film
Tanmay
as
is
well.
a revolutionary. He is a
Okay, now
revolutionary.
you have to tell me why. What is the inside joke?
No, there's no joke.
no
I'm being
joke.
dead serious.
It's just
But it's just that appropriate.
his wife.
Really?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
You'll know when you
yeah,
Yeah.
Okay.
yeah.
You feel
Bring
the
him next
revolution.
time. Okay, bring
Yeah.
him next time.